Okay, now we're going to take our hands to our ribs, kind of like you would put your hands on your hips, but put them on your ribs, nice and high. So thumbs go in the back. Now we're going to curl our chest down a little bit. So you can tuck your chin toward your chest. So oftentimes in postpartum, because we've had so much weight forward, we tend to stand like this and jam our shoulders down, right? Which means like a lot of mid-back tightness. So notice where your hands are when you're on your ribs. Are your ribs really open? You see how open my ribs are here? Right? Can you shift them back so you've got more space into your back? All right, now I like to tuck my chin towards my chest because sometimes we get this like forward movement. It's really hard to breathe into your back when you're like this. It even changes my voice, right? So bring your head back, hands on your ribs, rib waist. And then I want you to take an inhale, full inhale, and see if you can expand your rib cage 360. If you can't, that's okay. Just notice where it goes. And then exhale, let your ribs compress 360. And then do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then relax. When we breathe, our lungs are actually supposed to open backwards, right? We inhale, we go back, expand, release. The problem is in pregnancy, we get locked down like this and our breath has nowhere to go, right? So we start breathing up here and we get neck tightness, shoulder tightness, all that fun stuff, right? So what I want you to think about, and this is something that we'll work on in this class, is opening up your back. So let's do this again. And I want you to think of moving your ribs forward. So the back of your ribs are opening, exhale, everything comes together. So in postpartum, it's more like not just going straight out, but almost more back, right? And I like to take a little bit of a rounded back to encourage that back body movement. Good. So take a couple of breaths here, just experiment with your rib position. Notice, like if you round forward, if you drop your chin, does it make it easier to breathe into your back? Exhale. Good. Take one more here. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Good. Now stay here. We're going to add the pelvic floor to it. Right. So when you inhale, the pelvic floor releases, belly expands and rib cage expands. Exhale, pelvic floor first, deep core, and then ribs drop into. I know it's a lot in one sentence. Okay, so we're going to try it again. Think of top down. Inhale, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. Exhale, pelvic floor, belly, ribs. Good. If it's helpful for you to do this hand motion, inhale, top down. Exhale, bottom up. Gather from the pelvic floor, and then the ribs come in. Good. One more here. Inhale, top down. Exhale, bottom up. Good. Release it, let it go. Nice. Shake your shoulders out. So interlace your hands overhead, reach the arms up. I find sometimes this breath is like, if you are used to breathing in the opposite direction, paradoxical breathing, this can be like, what is happening? So if that's you, don't worry. I'm introducing this to you. Spend a whole week on this breath. So don't worry. Reach the arms up. We're going to wiggle the ribs from side to side, and we're going to apply this in a little bit of movement. Good. All right. And then settle in the middle. Reach right through the middle, and then take your right hand down to the floor. Reach your left arm all the way up overhead. Good. Take a slight forward bend towards your right knee. And breathe here for just a moment, right? So if you felt like you have a lot of tightness in your mid-back, spend some time here expanding through your left ribs, right? See if you can send your breath back into your rib cage. Good. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come back through the center. Left fingertips down, right arm up overhead, take a side bend, and then rotate your chest slightly towards the floor. So we're giving the ribs the advantage of opening back as we're breathing here. Good. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. One more breath here. Good. And then inhale, come all the way back to the center. Great. All right. We're going to come onto all fours. Yeah, roll your shoulders out. Like a natural response, right? All right. So come on over to all fours. If you need to pad your knees, please feel free. And we're going to take some cat and cow breaths, but it's different than how we do in yoga, right? So we're going to reverse the breath. I'm going to have you inhale, round your back, press through your hands, press your shoulders away from your spine. And then exhale, open, draw the deep core in. As you exhale, open your chest. So you may not be able to go open as much as you normally do. Good. Inhale, round back, move back into your mid back. And exhale, open. Good. Two more here. Inhale, round back, breathe into that lower back, mid back area. Exhale and open. Good. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, open. Good. Come back to neutral. Take your hands forward on the mat and then bring your forehead down towards the floor so your hips are still lifted. You're in a puppy dog. If this is not accessible to you, no worries. Take your head onto a block or a little higher. You can also just float. And then shift your hips from side to side. Just notice what you notice in your hips. And notice your pelvic floor. Notice if you get some tightness in the lower part of your glutes. Good. And then settle in the middle. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Reach for your right arm. Keep wiggling a little bit. Create space underneath your right shoulder. Good. And then coming back to the center, over to the right. Reach to your left hand. Shifting the hips from side to side. Good. All right, and then coming all the way back to the center, come back up to all fours. Shake out your hips a little bit. Good. And then we're going to do the breath that we did seated in all fours, right? So I want you to think of keeping your spine perfectly still. So we're going to inhale, release the pelvic floor, release the belly, release the ribs, expand through the ribs. Exhale, bottom up, pelvic floor, deep core, ribs drop back, right? So really deep exhale. And do that again. Inhale. Expand, exhale. Good. Let's do one more here. Inhale. And exhale.